with the reveal trailer of the latest installment of Microsoft Flight Simulator released at this year's E3 2019, it's safe to say that everyone is freaking out how awesome it looks, and hopefully plays just as well with amazing flight dynamics and, of course, amazing overall simulation quality. Before we start, I just want to say thank you everyone so much for the love on the first video there for the introduction of the new flight sim. I'm really excited to see so much interest in that, and let's keep this going. Today, I want to talk about the top 10 planes that I want to see in the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. Let me know in the comments below what you guys, girls and other, want in this amazing upcoming installment. And here we go. My top 10 planes I want in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, plane number 1 on today's list is the Bombardier Global 7000, also known as the Global 7500 now, since the renaming. This is a beautiful aircraft. This aircraft is actually first on my list because I actually helped in real life get this aircraft certified. When I was working up in Iqaluit for those few months at the international airport up there at the FBO, I was part of the crew that helped look after the airplane. So while I was sitting on the ground, I had to help keep it powered and everything else, and I was able to go inside with the crew and everything else. It is a beautiful work of art. I mean, this thing is amazing. And the stats itself, the passengers, it can seat up to 19 people, it can have a crew of 4. Its engines, it's powered by 2 General Electric Passport engines with thrust 18,920 pounds. That's awesome. And it's known as an ultra long range business jet because its range is an impressive 7,700 nautical miles. That's really, really good, guys, for a business jet. And I mean, just look at it. It's a beautiful piece of art. Modern sensor suites, the whole 9 yards. I personally think it would be perfect in the new Microsoft Flight Sim, being a brand new aircraft, great capabilities, and of course, it's brand spanking beautiful, built in Canada. Amazing piece of work. Definitely want to see this in the new Microsoft Flight Sim. Number 2 on the list is the Airbus A3501000. Powered by 2 powerful Rolls-Royce Trent XWB 97 engines, you can get thrust of up to 97,000 pounds from each engine. That's a lot of thrust. In the past, we've seen large Boeing airplanes like the 747, so it'll be really interesting to get a larger Airbus aircraft in there, like the A350, right? Because, again, large range, over 16,000 kilometers in range, around 350 to 410 passengers, and over 73 meters in length. It would be really interesting to get the Airbus approach to a large aircraft, especially with it being modern, high class, high energy efficiency. It would be really cool to have that fly-by-wire approach to aircraft that Airbus takes instead of the manual Boeing aircraft, right, like the 747. So I think it'll be a very interesting approach to large airplanes to have the A350 within the simulator. So what do you guys think? I think it would be pretty cool. Number 3 on this awesome list is the Boeing Dreamliner, the 787-10 series. If you've never flown on a Dreamliner before, my gosh, it is a dream to fly on, hence the name, knee slapper. Seating at around 330 people with a great range of 6,430 nautical miles, and powered by 2 Gen X 1B Trent 1000 engines. This airplane is a beautiful flying work of art. I mean, seriously, its systems look amazing. Beautiful looking cockpit, my gosh. And by the way, the fuel system on this is amazing. Like the fuel savings on this airplane are fantastic. I mean, 20% better mileage, like the better usage than the 767. It's beautiful. I mean, just look at it. You know you want to fly this in Microsoft Flight Sim. You just want to fly it around. It's like the 737 if it was on steroids. I mean, it's beautiful. It's the future. It's now. Number 4 on this list is another Airbus aircraft. It is the good old, or should I say good new, Airbus A3501000 series, also known as the old Bombardier C series aircraft. This airplane has a story, originally being built by Canadian company Bombardier, but of course being bought out at 51% by Airbus due to the Boeing conflicts with the Canadian government, everything else going on. This airplane it's a masterpiece. I mean, I'm just going to read this from the website itself. Powered by Pratt & Whitney Pure Power PW1500G geared turbofan engines, specifically designed for the A220 family, can connect distant airports with its 2,950 nautical mile range and its best in-class airfield performance. This thing is quiet as heck in real life. Like, it's obviously not a Cessna, but for an airplane its size, it's geared turbofan, it's quiet. And honestly, this airplane story, it's kind of heartbreaking to think that, Bombardier had to sell it, but that's its own video. Passenger max seating at around 135. This airplane can definitely be a very nice addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator in the sense that it fulfills a niche, right, for a small regional carrier, and it still maintains a high performance. It's something new, and right now it's the smallest commercial aircraft that Airbus produces. So whether it's the 220-100 or the 220-300, so the slightly larger variant, it'd be really interesting to see how this would fit into Flight Simulator and see how its systems work, its geared turbofan, everything else. I think it would be a very unique aircraft for the simulator. And to be honest, I just want it. Number 5 on this list is a personal favorite. Plane that I fly often is the good old Diamond DA40. Now, there's a lot of variants now, so I'm just going to say the general DA40. It's pretty much the direct competitor with the Cessna 172, which you've seen in flight sims pretty much forever now, so it would be nice to get some more blood in, especially for the general aviation crowd. But of course, full glass cockpit, this supports full synthetic vision, amazing safety record, and you can actually choose which engine you want to have it in now. So you can go with a good old Lycoming engine, or you can use the new, kind of like the Astro, the new Jet A engine, so like the cool diesel awesome engine. Honestly, this airplane, you feel like you're flying a small fighter jet. It has push rods for the ailerons, so instead of using cables, you have instant flight control. There's no delay in rolling the aircraft and anything else. It's really fun to fly, and of course with its composite design, it has a good flight ratio and a good glide ratio, right? So honestly, with its range, with its gliding, with its just overall amazing futuristic cockpit, I highly recommend Microsoft to give it a go. Come on, guys, you already have the DA42 or 62. I couldn't tell in that video, but honestly, it would be so much fun to have this airplane in the flight sim. Come on, get it in there. Number 6 is a bit of a treat for all you helicopter fans out there. It's the CH47 Chinook helicopter. Now, we hear often about twin aircraft, however, we never really hear that much about twin rotary aircraft. So I'll admit that I'm more of a fixed wing guy. I'm not a huge helicopter guy, so please forgive me for this. But honestly, who doesn't know the CH47? I mean, just looking at it, it's symbolic. Payload 24,000 pounds. I mean, this thing can lift your car and just steal it. So don't get anyone angry who has a 47 with them. Its power plant is 2 Lycoming 255 GA714A turbo shaft with 4,733. That's a lot of horsepower, man. I mean, just saying, say goodbye to your car if you get them angry. But yeah, with its with a range of 400 nautical miles, which is impressive for being a dual engine it's a dual rotor helicopter. I mean, that's impressive. Cruise speed 160 knots, max speed 170. I mean, how authentic, how unique would it be to have this rotary wing aircraft, or shall I just say helicopter, in the game? I mean, who wouldn't want to fly a Chinook? It looks amazing. Used by countries all over the world, including US, Canada, etc. This would be a really interesting experience to fly. I mean, for those who actually fly the helicopters in flight sim, I think you'd really have a lot of fun flying this guy and just seeing what you can do. And plus, there's, of course, you can have a lot of cool payload missions, right? And there's so many different variants and things like that. So I think it'll be really cool to have this airplane in the new flight sim. Sure, it's older, but you know what? It works. So there, screw that. Number 7 on this list is, you know what? It has stolen my heart time and time again. It's the good old Schweitzer SGS 233 glider. I mean, this is the first aircraft that I soloed on. It's a great glider, and you know what? I'm fine with it, okay? I know it's not a Grobe. Its glide ratio is like 22.25 to 1. It's not the best glider, but you know what? This thing can take a punch, all right? It's like a roll cage, pretty much. It can fly up to 2 people, so 1 pilot, 1 passenger, flying in tandem, with an empty weight of around 600 pounds, max takeoff weight at around 1,000. Engine, none. Who needs an engine when you're a glider? It's a, you know what? This thing's a beast. I mean, like, air cadets still use it. These things were made in the 1960s, and they still fly, all right? They're like Cessnas, but you know what? You don't need an engine. I've had friends who've stayed up for hours in this airplane, and again, sure, it's not a Grobe, but you know what? Minimum sink of like around just under 200 feet a minute. You find a good thermal, you can stay up there all day, you know? And that landing skid has it's a great break. I mean, let me tell you, it's a very unique experience to fly. And if you can ever fly one of these at a club in real life or in cadets, whatever, do it. I mean, sure, again, it's not a Grobe, it's not a high, like, you know, efficiency glider, but it really is from another age. As soon as you get in, and just it's hard to explain. I mean, I have a video on YouTube of me flying this. It's an experience, let me tell you. And it would be really fun to get something other than a Grobe in a gliding game, you know? So get it in there, Microsoft. You will have fans for this 233, especially if they're ex-air cadets. Now, I know number 8 on this list will probably not make it in, but I'm going to try anyway. Darn you, Microsoft! It is the good old Lancaster Mark III, or Mark 1 or 2, whatever can make it in. I mean, if you don't know what the Lancaster is, I mean, just Google it now, watch Dambusters. This thing is a legend. I mean, with a crew of 7, World War II bomber, this thing, man, it's a legend. With 4 Rolls-Royce XX liquid-cooled V12 engines with over 1,000 horsepower each. This thing packed a punch during World War II. And the interesting thing is that it was used by operators after World War II, you know, when the surplus models went out. And so kind of like the DC-3, they were used for flying for a bit, for mail, Coast Guard, I think maybe a few passenger, not that much though, because new aircraft came out, the jet age kind of took over from there. But you know what, it would be great to have one of these good old piston warbirds in there, you know, even if it's not, like, I know Microsoft is American, so even if it's like the B-17 or B-24 or something, or the Catalina, that'd be amazing, or Canso, same airplane, it would be great to have an old warbird in here. And I mean, like, its range, like, compared to aircraft today, it's like 2,500 miles in range. So I mean, like, it would be a really fun airplane to fly, especially looking after the good old Rolls-Royce engines. And honestly, like, it's a beautiful airplane, and there's only 2 left in the world, you know? So how better would it be to say thank you to such an amazing aircraft and to support it in such an awesome flight simulator, you know? So Microsoft, please at least get one good warbird in there. I mean, we all need those good old piston pounders. Come on. I'll be fairly quick with number 9 because it's an aircraft that you all know. It's the Q400. So the good old Bombardier, or in this case, the de Havilland aircraft. Because de Havilland's back now. That's pretty cool. But no, like, having the Q400 NextGen would be a really cool addition. I'm surprised that's not already in Flight Sim, but it's a great niche for the regional market, right? And it's such a popular aircraft, one of the most popular planes for regional airlines, with the ATR, which would also be an awesome aircraft to have in Flight Sim. But the NextGen, looking at around 86 passengers, newer systems, nice shiny new cockpit and interior. It'll be a really, really cool airplane to have in the sense that it fills the regional market. And of course, we don't have a lot of turboprop aircraft in Flight Sim, so it'd be nice to have that kind of like market filled in the game, right? So there's a lot of good DLC, and I've featured videos with past flight sim payware aircraft before, so the Q400, but I think it'll be really cool to have it in the vanilla version of the game because, of course, again, it is a very popular aircraft and it fills that niche market very nicely, and has a good landing speed as well. So give it a go, Microsoft. And my number 10 for this amazing list is actually kind of a surprise in the sense that it's kind of a new category of aircraft. It's actually, I'd like Microsoft to actually put in an electric airplane. Doesn't have to be anything specific, but a good example is that Pipstrel, the Alpha Electro that is being created, the two-seater that can be used for flight schools. You know, sure, it doesn't have the most power, sure, it doesn't have the most range, but I think where we're going in aviation, becoming more sustainable and everything, I think it'll be very unique to have an electric airplane in here, right? Instead of having to worry about your fuel, you have to worry about your electric charge. It's an entirely new kind of gameplay / simulation. Right, and I think that will be really cool to introduce that to fellow simmers and pilots, or whatever you want to call us, by featuring it in the new Microsoft Flight Sim, right? Because what Microsoft wanted to do is kind of say, you know what, this Microsoft Flight Simulator is called Microsoft Flight Simulator and not Flight Sim 11 or whatever, because they're taking a new leap. It's a new generation, right? So why not help solidify that next gen feel with a literally next generation airplane, an all electric airplane? So I say give it a go. It's the Tesla of the skies, right? So definitely give it a go, Microsoft. And number 11, you say? Yes, number 11. It's a bonus airplane, something I know Microsoft won't do, but I want it, damn it, so I'm going to say it. It's the CF105 Avro Aero, because it's the best airplane. Get it in there.
Cockpit, the pilot eases the throttles forward, and the Aero starts down the runway. The plane roars off the ground on her maiden flight.
The Avro Aero, it's a tragic story. If you haven't ever heard of the Aero before, just give it a Google search. You'll understand pretty quickly why I want it in, so then I can fly it and just play it every day.
The Aero type of fighter will later be equipped with Canadian Iroquois jet engines, the most powerful in the world when they're available.
I'm sorry, I'm sad just thinking about it. Anyways, yeah, so CF105, my number 11 bonus aircraft for this list. And there you go, my top 10/11 planes for the new Microsoft Flight Simulator. What do you all think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What would you all like to see in the new Flight Simulator? Let us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Folks, thank you again so much for your support over the previous video. I mean, like, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers already, and that's freaking insane. I thank you so much for your support. It's amazing to know that we have such an amazing flight sim community on here. And again, let us know what you want to see. You know, like if you want to see another airplane or a space shuttle or something. I don't know. No limits. You know, even SpaceX. Just let us know below. Anyways, as always, fly safe, everyone, and happy landings. Have a great day and see you next time. See you later.